Friend, Shabbat Shalom. You know, what's frustrating, Becky and Nathan, is that I hope people figured out how to find our place and outside of Facebook. And we'll worry. We'll fix the technical. We'll get it fixed. But what's so amazing is we currently have 443 regular followers of our website, which is quite remarkable.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's amazing that we have this connection. There are people who see us in other ways, but 443, and I remember when we started our Facebook community, we had 10 people.
Yeah.
So it is quite amazing, and when people share information and links about our synagogue to other people, it just helps us to grow. So we'll fix the Facebook thing, and I know people are participating in other ways on YouTube and on our website. But it's amazing the kind of community you can create electronically. It's just, I mean,
cool.
It's pretty cool. Friends, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you tonight. When we're invited to an event, we want to make sure that we bring an appropriate gift. Is it too costly or not costly enough? How will it compare to other people's gifts? Is it sending some unintentional message that could cause difficulty? This happens in all kinds of situations, and weddings, and bar and bat mitzvahs, and anniversaries, Shabbat dinners. Is the gift that we're bringing, is it appropriate? I remember at my son's bar mitzvah that took place on Long Island years ago, when one of the leaders of the congregation went around to other people right before the event to see what they had given Noam. And when he realized his gift did not meet up to the going rate, he took money out of his wallet, put it into the card along with a check. I'm not exaggerating. He didn't want to be embarrassed. The appropriateness of a gift is central to our Torah portion for this Shabbat. When the tabernacle was dedicated, the heads of each of the 12 tribes on consecutive days brought identical celebratory offerings. Let me read it to you so you know what each group brought over 12 days. Every day, the same thing. 1 silver bowl weighing 130 shekels. 1 silver basin of 70 shekels by the sanctuary weight. Both filled with choice flour with oil mixed in for a meal offering. 1 gold ladle of 10 shekels filled with incense. 1 bull of the herd. 1 ram and 1 lamb in its first year. For a burnt offering. 1 goat for a sin offering, and for his sacrifice of well-being, 2 oxen, 5 rams, 5 he-goats, 5 yearling lambs. So Nathan, when someone comes to your house, expect this from now on.
I was just hoping for a 15-year scotch. But okay.
Okay. Now, why did each leader bring the same gift? And why was it important that each gift for each tribe be described? The Torah does not give us an answer, but I can imagine this conversation among the tribal leaders. We all must honor this sacred occasion of the dedication of the tabernacle with a gift. Let us show unity. Let us not try to outdo each other. Of course, we are all representatives of different tribes, with different traditions, different ideas, and different beliefs. We all bring our own unique ideas about the nature of community. But here, we need to show that in spite of our diversity, we need to show unity. A mutual respect for each other's gifts. Now let's show that all of us individually and collectively are dedicated to the future of the Jewish people. Now, I find this entire biblical episode of great relevance. when it comes to the state of the Jewish people today? Do we honor each other's gifts? Do we really believe that others are as valuable as we are? The Pew group came out just a week ago with the 2020 Jewish population study. And here is a fact that troubles me. Members of different branches of American Judaism generally do not feel they have a lot in common with one another. And then it gives some examples. Here's the one I want to share with you. About half of Orthodox Jews in the United States say that they have not much, 23%, or nothing at all, 26%, in common with Reform Jews. And a majority of Reform Jews reciprocate those feelings. 39% say they have not much in common with the Orthodox, and 21% say they have nothing in common with the Orthodox. Just 9% of Orthodox Jews feel they have a lot in common with Reform Jews and vice versa. That's something to cry about. We fragment ourselves. What are we doing? We go after one another. Or we build emotional, intellectual walls around each other. This is not supposed to happen. Let us apply this to our current Jewish situation that is self-evident. The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is, God willing, going to hold. Let's pray. But what about the war within the Jews about this topic? Look at what has happened during this brief and painful war. American Jews are beating up each other. There are all these competing voices. Here are some of them. I've made a list of at least 10. These are things that people are saying in the Jewish community. Israel has an absolute right to protect itself. Number 2, Israel was responding with disproportional firepower. Number 3, Israel is for Jews. The needs of the Arabs are less important. The land of Israel, number 4, the land of Israel does not belong to the Jews. We are interlopers. 5, without a Palestinian state, a two-state solution, there is no solution. Number 6, who are we kidding? We have no Palestinian partners to negotiate with. Number 7, a Palestinian state will be an open invitation for the cultivation of increasing terrorism towards Israel and other intifada. All the problems are caused by Israel. Zionism is a failure. Number 9, I better not speak up because I'm going to make myself vulnerable and I will lose friends. Or 10, I can no longer be a Democrat, is being taken over by Israel haters. I could come up with a lot of more positions, but you get the point. There are all these voices, and we're speaking against each other and by each other. A generation ago, Israel united us. Now it divides us. This will destroy us. We have to be able to hear other voices and not get irrationally hostile to those voices. Let me give you an example. This week I decided to go to the website of the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations. It's an interesting organization where many Jewish organizations in America of different flavors come together, sit around a table, and try to come up with a kind of consensus about what the organized American Jewish community does or believes. I counted at least 18 different Zionist-oriented organizations that are part of the conference. My favorite is, the one that I'm most connected with, is ARTSA, the Association of Reformed Zionists of America. There are Zionist organizations that I can identify with and others that I cannot. But so what? All voices need to be heard. All voices are relevant. No voice should ever be suppressed. If we cannot play in this Jewish sandbox together, we're in big trouble. Personally, I think that these multiple voices are good for the Jews. Everyone makes good points, and there is no single truth or perspective. Things are more complicated than catchphrases that people like to make or to pronounce. We need to force ourselves to understand alternate positions. We need to see the world the way others do. It's not kosher for us to demonize the other. The Jewish people cannot function that way. Last weekend, last Sunday night, was the Festival of Shavuots. We Jews, according to that story, that festival, stood together at Sinai to receive the Torah and to be challenged to live according to the Torah. It was one Torah for all Jews. Different interpretations naturally evolved, but they heard the same Torah. We cannot run around thinking that each of us has our own version of the Torah and the other versions are wrong. The shooting at the end is over. It has ended. But the debate about Israel must continue. Let's not verbally shoot one another. Hopefully, we are all lovers of the Jewish people who care passionately about the Jewish future. This war has brought out both the best in the Jewish people and the worst. A Jewish community that cannot tolerate different voices is doomed, is unholy, is self-destructive. Shema Yisrael, Israel, listen to each other. Shabbat Shalom.